Welcome to part 1 of PL-900. People don't just pass from my videos, instead they pass with flying colors, which is well evident in the comment section of my previous videos. Alright, this question is related to data visualization solution. Always mark the keywords in real exam so that it will become easy to arrive at the correct answer. Quick tip for the exam: all the options like Power Automate, Microsoft Dataverse, Power BI and Power Apps are very important topic as per the latest syllabus if you are appearing for PL-900. If you aren't clear about this, then you will have tough time passing the certification. Let's look at option A, that is Power Automate. Power Automate automates daily and corporate workflows. Since in the question there is no mention of automation, hence this is an incorrect choice. We'll reject this. Dataverse is a cloud-based storage space that can be used to store business application data. There is no mention of storing data as per the question. Instead, there is a mention of data visualization feature. Hence, we will reject this as well. Let's look at option C, that is Power BI. Power BI can help in data visualization. We'll keep this option aside. Let's look at the last option still. Power Apps is used for building and sharing low-code apps. Doesn't look good as per the question. Since in the question there is no requirement of building an app, right? Hence we'll reject this as well. And if we look at the official documentation, clearly mentioned that under Power BI, it's used for meaningful insights with hundreds of data visualization. We got our answer. We'll log this. Alright, this question is regarding match the statements. Let's look at statement 1, that is group the test and production versions of apps or chatbots. Whenever you see keywords such as development, test or production, then environment should strike in your mind, which we have in here. Hence we'll move this. Let's look at option 2 or statement 2, that is support team should be notified when new support request is created. If you read statement 2 carefully, there is need for automation since notification should be generated automatically when a new support request is created. Hence, the correct answer should be Power Automate as it's related to automation. We'll move this here. Always verify the last answer even though we got our answers, and in the real world exam you might need to drop the options once again as well. But in our cases, we have already know the answer, but still let's look at the last statement, that is store support requests which are created. Keyword in statement 3 is store. Since Dataverse can be used for storing support request, hence we'll move Dataverse here. Seems like we got our answers. And if you look at the first correct answer, that was environment, you might create separate environments, that is group the test production versions of your apps or chatbots. I told you to remember this keyword, that is test, production, development. If you see such keywords, then environment should be the correct answer. Hence we'll lock this as the correct answer for this. Okay, this question is related to transferring of data. Let's look at option A, that is Power BI. Power BI is used for data visualization as we looked in the previous question. As per the question, there is no need for visualization. Instead, there is need for transferring data. Hence, option A seems incorrect. Let's look at option B, that is on-prem data gateway. Since we need to transfer data from legacy SQL Server database, we need some kind of gateway. Data gateway can be the potential answer. We'll keep this option aside for the timing. And if you like the way I explain, please hit a thumbs up button because lot of hard work goes in behind the scenes while making these videos. I'm providing everything for free just because of your love and support. Option C says AI Builder. AI Builder is used for automating processes and predict outcomes to improve business performance. Doesn't quite fit our requirement, hence we'll reject option C as well. Let's look at option D, that is Canvas app. Canvas app is used for designing and building business app from Canvas in Microsoft Power Apps without writing code. Canvas app will not help in transferring the data. Seems incorrect. We'll reject this as well. And if you look at the official documentation, clearly written that install an on-prem data gateway to transfer data quickly and securely between a Canvas app that's built in Power Apps and the source data that isn't in the cloud, such as on-prem SQL Server database. We got our answer. We'll log this. Alright, this seems to be a tricky question. We need to determine the underlying cause of this issue. Let's look at option A, that is enable advanced debugging mode. There's no advanced debugging mode, hence since just a distractor, we'll reject this. Let's look at option B, use diagnostic logging. Diagnostic logging will help to store logs in Azure Blob Storage, where the administrator can configure the retention period of how long to keep the logs. This will not help you to find the root cause of the error as per the question. hence we'll reject option B as well. Let's look at option C, that is disable custom errors. Often the error message is brief and doesn't describe the underlying issue. Disabling custom errors action will replace the notification with detailed error information on the portal page that could provide additional information for an administrator to troubleshoot the issue. This can be the potential answer. We'll keep this option aside. Let's look at option D still, that is disable maintenance mode. In real life, if you disable maintenance mode, probably you might lose your job, because maintenance mode is used to display a proper message to customers whenever a maintenance activity is going on. For example, solutions package are being updated. Hence, we'll reject D as well. And if we look at this official documentation, clearly written under disable custom errors, there's a big paragraph you can read at your own leisure, and for the interest of time, we'll lock C as the correct answer for this. Question number 5 seems to be a very straightforward question. Just by using one trick, we can separate the correct answer from incorrect answers. Apart from option A, which is Microsoft SharePoint, if you look at option B, C and D, these will probably require some kind of license for the external users or customers, which will hinder in the process of submitting customer feedbacks. Think in your own perspective. Let's say if you are the customer and someone asks you to submit a feedback and it requires you to purchase a license, will you purchase the license to give the feedback? Absolutely no, right? Same logic can be applied here. Since SharePoint can allow external users or customers to enter data during customer feedback process, hence this seems to be a better fit than the other options. Hence we'll reject all the options except option A. And if you look at this official documentation as well, create a SharePoint list called ordered feedback to collect and store all customer feedbacks. We got our answer, we'll log this. Alright, this question is related to AI. If you want to learn more about artificial intelligence, then I have a separate course on my channel named AI-900, which you can find in the playlist section of my channel. Let's look at option A, that is entity extraction. Entity extraction identifies key elements from text, including PI information like phone number, zip code, email, etc. You need to remember this from the exam standpoint, as exam tests some basic concepts of AI-900 exam as well. We'll keep this option aside as it's one of the supported AI models. Let's look at option B, that is anomaly detection. Anomaly detection is about finding patterns in the data that do not conform to expected behavior, such as financial fraud detection. This is not supported, hence we'll reject this option. Let's look at option C, that is sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis pre-built model detects positive or negative sentiment in text data like customer reviews or social media analysis as well. This is another potential answer. Let's look at option D still, that is logistic regression. Logistic regression is a statistical method for determining the contribution of multiple factors to a pair of outcomes. This is again not supported, therefore we'll reject this as well. There are a handful of supported AI models which you got to remember, as well as a single liner definition or the functionality of each, because you might see questions related to these as well. And in the interest of time, since entity extraction and sentiment analysis is there in the supported models, we'll lock A and C as the correct answer for this. Alright, this question looks interesting because we need to combine two columns and make it as one column on the report. Let's look at option A, that is create views of two columns. There's no option in Power BI desktop to create a view. Seems just a distractor. We'll reject this. Let's look at option B, that is import data in JSON format. Importing data in any format, be it JSON, won't help you, as we need to combine two columns into one on the report. This option seems incorrect. Please subscribe and press the bell icon so that you don't miss any important notification related to high paying ID certification, which will boost your IT career. Let's look at option C, that is Power Query Editor. Power Query Editor can be used to combine two queries into one, either by performing merge or append operation. We'll keep this option aside. Let's look at option D, that is use Power Automate. Power Automate has nothing to do with queries and combining two columns into one. We'll reject this since it's more related to automation. And if you look at the official documentation, clearly written combining queries. Let's combine these two tables or queries into one. and you got to use the left pane of the Power Query editor. Here's a demo of that, and in the interest of time we'll log C as the correct answer for this. Alright, we got to match the correct statement. Let's look at statement 1, that is identify users who may not pay electricity bill on time. If you read statement 1 carefully, question demands some kind of forecast, or more precisely we can say prediction. Hence prediction fits absolutely right here. We'll move this. Let's look at the last statement, that is identify items who don't have barcodes or labels. Between text recognition and object detection, we need to choose one. Text recognition extracts words from documents and images. As per the question, there is no mention of documents or images. Instead, there is product item, or this is the product we can say. Hence object detection fits better as it can identify the product or item. We'll move this here, and if you look at the official documentation as well, that object detection helps to automate inventory takings, and the incorrect answer was text recognition, that is it is related to photos of text and save it to the database. And if you look at another official documentation, clearly written AI builder prediction model, this is related to prediction, helps to analyze patterns in historical data that you provide. Prediction models learn to associate those patterns with the outcomes, use them to predict future outcomes. We got our answer, we'll log this. Alright, this question is related to filter types. Let's look at option A, that is internal filters. This seems just a distractor as internal filters doesn't exist in Power BI reports. We'll reject this. Let's look at option B, that is pass-through filters. Pass-through filters are visual level filters created through Q&A. This can be one of the potential answer. We'll keep this option aside because we need two correct answer. Let's look at option C, that is drill into filters. There is no drill into filters, instead there is drill down filter in Power BI reports, hence we'll reject this option as well. Auto filter, as the name suggests, are automatically added to visual level of filter pane when building a visual. Seems like we got our two correct answers. And if you look at the official documentation as well, these are the supported filter types. There was auto filters or automatic filters, and we have pass through filters, and the incorrect was drill down filters. There was something else instead of drill down. You got to remember this, and it's better to have a hands-on, because if you're appearing for PL-900, there might be requirement to have the hands-on, because the exam doesn't quite verify your hands-on experience, but it's better to do some hands-on because it will give you a quick idea or boost your confidence for PL-900. Alright, this question is related to objects in Power BI visuals. Let's look at option A, that is Power Apps. Power Apps, it's not an object as per the question, because we need object, right? Power Apps is not an object. We'll reject this straight away. Let's look at option B, that is reports. Reports are objects which can be added to Power BI visuals. Seems like we got our one answer because we need two correct answers at the end of the day. Let's look at option C, that is Power Automate. Power Automate is used for doing some kind of automation. As per the question, there is no need of automation, right? Hence we can reject this as well. By the process of elimination, we got our last answer, that is dashboard, even if we don't know the answer. And if you look at the official documentation, clearly mentioned Power BI visuals, you can download and use your own dashboards and reports. And also all these visualizations can be added to Power BI reports specified in Q&A and pinned to dashboards. We got our answer, we'll log this. And let's meet again in next part. So please don't go away.